Good morning. I'm Jake Reyes here with meteorologist Mary Ellen Pan. It really is a gorgeous start to Mother's Day.
Oh, yes. Great day for mom. You know, take her out, spoil her, take her to brunch. It's just anything you do outdoors today is going to be fabulous. Let's take a look. We've got a fantastic sunrise underway. You can see the sun coming up over the horizon here on our Lebanon Skycam. Just a few clouds there in the distance. Otherwise, plenty of blue sky. And that sun is going to be bright all day long. We've got high pressure building in behind a weak cold front that did push through this morning. It continues to move off to the south and east. It didn't have any moisture with it, but it just reinforces the dry air that'll be in place for much of the day, providing lots of sunshine. That high pressure system. 46 in Lebanon and Ephrata, 54 in Lancaster, 47 in Landisburg, but you head a little further to the south, we've got 54 in New Freedom, 55 in Gettysburg, and Chambersburg coming in at 54 degrees. Winds will be much lighter today, not like the breezy conditions we had yesterday, and you can see wall-to-wall sunshine through much of the day. Temperatures are going to climb into the mid-70s. A few areas to the south-southwest could even sneak into the upper 70s, so it doesn't get much better than this. So some changes, though, as we head back into the work week. The clouds are going to return, and so will the wet weather. I'll detail when you can expect to have that umbrella ready coming up in the forecast.
All right. Thanks, Mary Ellen. Well, we're tracking the Trump administration's response to several global conflicts. Washington correspondent Jackie DeFusco joins us live with the latest developments over the weekend. Jackie.
AJ, good morning. India and Pakistan are now accusing each other of violating a ceasefire, and those accusations came just hours after President Donald Trump yesterday announced that U.S.-mediated deal. India now vowing to respond, while Pakistan is blaming India for initiating the breach, but said it remains committed to the ceasefire. Now, the agreement aims to halt the most serious confrontations in decades between the nuclear-armed rivals. We'll see what happens today. Turning to the Russia-Ukraine war now, Russian President Vladimir Putin is proposing restarting direct talks with Ukraine in Istanbul on May 15th, quote, without preconditions. This after Ukraine and its allies, including the United States, threatened to turn up sanctions on Moscow if it does not commit to an unconditional 30-day ceasefire that would start on Monday. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky calls Putin's proposal a positive sign, but says a ceasefire must come first before these direct talks. Now, after having expressed frustration in recent days about the pace and progress of these peace talks, President Trump did strike a different tone on social media yesterday, saying that it is, quote, a potentially great day for Russia and Ukraine, and also said that his administration would continue working to end that war, Jake.
Yeah, and Jackie, President Trump leaves for a Middle East trip tomorrow as another war between Israel and Hamas is ongoing.
Yeah, that's right, Jake. And in fact, in a letter ahead of this Middle East trip, a group of Senate Democrats writes this, quote, the United States is not providing critically needed leadership to drive peace forward after a previous ceasefire between Israel and Hamas shattered. Now, that group of Democratic lawmakers is urging the Trump administration to put pressure on Israel to basically not pursue a permanent reoccupation of Gaza and to push Israel to once again allow critical aid like food and other supplies to flow into that territory, as aid groups on the ground warn that a humanitarian crisis is unfolding there. Now, while the president is certainly going to be getting a number of questions about the Israel-Hamas war during his travels throughout the coming week, the White House has said that this trip is largely going to be focused on business deals, as the president is expected to pay visits to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE. Jake, back to you.
Thanks, Jackie. Trade talks between the U.S. and China are expected to continue today, but so far, President Donald Trump said there was great progress. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and the U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer held talks with Chinese leaders in Switzerland on Saturday. There is currently a 145% tariff on all imported Chinese goods. Beijing has a 125% tariff on most U.S. imports. The president issued statements on social media praising the talks, saying he wants China to open up more opportunities for American business. Bessent urged the public this week not to expect a major trade deal out of the talks, but he said the meetings are an important step in negotiations. And the trade war is straining both economies. Chinese factory activity is down and the U.S. gross domestic product contracted in the first quarter, which hasn't happened since 2022. In the next half hour, Washington correspondent Jackie DeFusco will have more on the details of the first day of trade discussions between the two countries.